You know, every morning I still keep the same old habit, sitting by the window, watching the first light of day filter through the trees, a warm cup of coffee in my hand. It's a ritual I've kept for over 30 years as a doctor. Many of my patients tell me the same thing. Their mornings begin with the hum of the coffee maker and that familiar aroma filling the kitchen. Coffee has been with us for so long that we hardly stop to wonder if it could do more than just wake us up. But the longer I practice medicine, the more I realize this simple truth. The smallest, most familiar things often hold the greatest power to change our health. I want you to imagine this. What if, by simply adding one small spoonful of a natural ingredient into your morning coffee, you could ease joint pain, rebuild your muscles, burn stubborn belly fat, and feel as energized as you did in your 40s? Would you believe it? I know, it sounds too simple to be real, but after working with thousands of people over 50, I've seen it happen. Not through expensive pills or miracle drugs, but through humble natural ingredients you probably already have in your kitchen. One of my patients, Harold, 69 years old, is someone I'll never forget. He came into my office one morning, looking tired and defeated. "Dr. Evans," he said, "I've been drinking coffee my whole life, but lately I wake up weaker every day. My muscles are gone, my hands tremble, and walking feels heavy. I guess that's just old age, isn't it?" I smiled. "No, Harold," I told him. "That's not just age. That's your body running low on the fuel it needs to rebuild itself. And the funny thing is, the same cup of coffee you drink every morning could actually help you recover." He was skeptical, but he agreed to try. We added a spoon of MCT oil and a dash of cinnamon to his coffee. A few weeks later, Harold walked back into my office with a big smile. "Doctor, I don't feel tired after breakfast anymore. I can walk 2 miles without stopping, and I've lost 6 pounds without even trying." I wasn't surprised, because the human body, even after 60, has a remarkable ability to heal itself. We've just forgotten how to speak its language. Each natural ingredient, cinnamon, collagen, coconut oil, or even a pinch of turmeric, carries its own language that the body understands. Coffee, acting as the perfect carrier, simply helps deliver that message faster. Have you ever felt like your body has slowed down with time? Not just physically, but in energy, in spirit? You sleep, yet wake up tired. You eat, yet still feel empty inside. I've heard that from hundreds of patients, and truthfully, I've felt it myself. After age 50, our bodies naturally lose 5 to 8% of muscle mass every decade. That's why many people say they feel old, not because of wrinkles or gray hair, but because they've lost strength on the inside. Muscle isn't just about movement, it's life energy, our internal battery, our built-in armor. Losing muscle means losing independence, joy, and sometimes even confidence when looking in the mirror. The good news? We can reverse it. You don't need a fancy gym or expensive supplements. You can start from the most familiar place of all, your morning cup of coffee. You see, coffee is an amazing base for nutrient absorption. It stimulates circulation, helping compounds like curcumin from turmeric, flavonols from cocoa, or collagen peptides travel efficiently throughout the body. And with its warmth and natural bitterness, coffee becomes the perfect vehicle to carry nourishment exactly where it's needed. I'll never forget Dolores, 72, one of my dearest patients. She used to be so active, but weak bones and muscle loss had her relying on a cane. We didn't do anything complicated. We simply swapped her plain black coffee for one blended with soy milk and a scoop of collagen. 3 months later, Dolores called me, her voice trembling with emotion. "Doctor, I just took a walk around the block with my granddaughter without my cane. I still can't believe it." Moments like that remind me that taking care of your health isn't about fighting age. It's about learning to live in harmony with it. And every day you have a choice to let your morning coffee be a mindless habit or to make it a daily ritual of renewal. That's why in today's video, I'm going to share 11 simple ways to turn your coffee into a natural medicine. A way to boost your strength, sharpen your mind, and keep your heart warm and alive well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. But before we begin, I want you to ask yourself, if one small change each morning could make you healthier, stronger, more alive, would you try it? I believe you would, because I've seen miracles happen again and again from simple choices like that. Wanam lowers voice softly and calm. Age doesn't steal your vitality. Old habits do. And sometimes all it takes to reignite that inner fire is one cup of coffee with a small, intentional change. When I say your morning cup of coffee could change your life, I'm not talking about magic. I'm talking about science wrapped in simplicity, the kind of wisdom nature has always known, but time made us forget. Today, I want to tell you about three old friends I've added to my own coffee, and to the coffee of hundreds of my patients over 50. Three small ingredients that can help your body burn fat, calm inflammation, restore energy, and perhaps most importantly, help you feel confident again when you look in the mirror each morning. Top 1. MCT oil. Clean fuel for the brain and body. Have you ever felt tired for no reason? Or maybe you find yourself struggling to focus, forgetting what you just said? That's not because you're getting old. It's because your brain is running low on fuel. MCT oil, short for medium chain. Triglyceride is a special kind of fat extracted from coconut oil. Unlike regular fats, MCTs don't need to pass through the liver for digestion. They go straight into your bloodstream and quickly turn into energy for your brain and muscles. I often tell my patients, think of MCT as premium fuel for an engine that's seen a few miles. One of my patients, Linda, 67, told me that after just 2 weeks of adding half a tablespoon of MCT oil to her morning coffee, she felt sharper, stopped craving sweets, and could do 40 minutes of yoga without feeling drained. The beauty of MCTs is that they also trigger your body's natural fat-burning process, especially around the belly, which is the hardest area to lose for most people after 50. If you've noticed your belly getting firmer or rounder, even though you're not eating more, that's your body's way of saying, I need better fuel. 2. Cinnamon, the tiny key that unlocks your metabolism. The scent of cinnamon always reminds me of Boston winters. Sweet, warm, and full of memories. But few people realize that cinnamon isn't just a spice. It's a quiet hero when it comes to managing blood sugar and cholesterol. As we age, our cells become lazy in responding to insulin, causing blood sugar to rise even if we eat the same foods. Cinnamon helps wake those cells up, allowing your body to use sugar more efficiently. That means less fatigue, fewer sugar cravings, and a trimmer waistline. I remember one patient, Robert, 73, who said to me, Dr. Evans, I can't believe the same stuff I sprinkle on my Christmas apple pie could be good for me. I laughed and said, just change how you use it, Robert. Instead of putting it on pie, sprinkle it into your morning coffee. 3 months later, his fasting blood sugar dropped from 145 to 105 without any new medication. That's the power of small, intentional changes. 3. Collagen, the invisible thread that holds youth together. I always tell my patients, after 50, we don't age because of time. We age because our body loses its ability to rebuild. Collagen is the foundation of that rebuilding. It's in your skin, hair, joints, and muscles. The invisible thread that keeps you strong, flexible, and youthful. But starting around 40, we lose about 1% of our natural collagen every year. So wrinkles, creaky joints, and muscle loss aren't just age. They're signs that your body has run out of building material. Adding one small scoop of collagen to your morning coffee can help smooth your skin, strengthen your hair, lubricate your joints, and ease that stiffness you feel when you first get out of bed. Janet, a 61-year-old woman I've worked with, once told me during a checkup, Doctor, I don't know what magic is in this collagen, but after 2 months, I can climb the stairs without holding the rail. I smiled and said, it's not magic, Janet. That's your body. Finally remembering how to heal these 3 ingredients, MCT oil, cinnamon, and collagen, aren't new discoveries. But when you combine them the right way, in one warm cup of coffee each morning, they don't just nourish your body, They awaken your belief that strength and vitality are still within reach. And what I love most about these little changes is that you don't have to give anything up. No strict diets, no intense workouts, just a new way to begin your mornings. One sip, one day at a time, and let your body say thank you in its own quiet way. Voice softens, warm and reflective. In the next part, I'll share a few more natural secrets, ingredients I once thought were just spices in the kitchen, but that turned out to slow aging and even help restore memory. So if you're listening to this right now, I just want to say, don't ever think it's too late to start. Your body is still here, waiting for you to give it another chance. Part 3, Reviving the Brain and the Heart. 3 natural miracles in a cup of coffee. There's something I always tell my patients. True health isn't just about muscles or skin. It's about the mind and how you feel when you wake up each morning. Because after the age of 50, what worries most people isn't a few wrinkles. It's the slow fading of memory. Those mornings when you forget what you were about to do, or when a familiar name suddenly slips your mind, that's your brain calling for help. But here's the beautiful part. Nature has left us small, powerful keys. If you know how to use them, you can help your brain and your heart grow younger every single day. 1. Turmeric, the golden sunlight for the brain and joints. If I could choose only one spice to use for the rest of my life, it would be turmeric. That golden powder doesn't just make food beautiful. It's one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories on earth. In aging bodies, silent inflammation is the most dangerous enemy. It causes aching joints, weakens the heart, and even damages brain cells. The key compound in turmeric, curcumin, acts like a gatekeeper, stopping inflammation from spreading and protecting nerve cells from degeneration. One of my patients, Marjorie 70, suffered from knee pain and memory loss. I suggested she add half a teaspoon of turmeric to her morning coffee with a pinch of black pepper to boost absorption. 3 months later, she came back smiling. "Doctor, I still forget things sometimes, but I just remembered the song my husband used to sing to me when we first got married. One small memory returning." Sometimes that's enough to make us feel alive again, isn't it? 2. Pure cocoa, a gift for the heart and soul. If coffee wakes you up, cocoa embraces your heart, not the sweet chocolate bars filled with sugar. I'm talking about pure, rich, slightly bitter cocoa. Cocoa is rich in flavonols, compounds that improve blood flow, lower blood pressure, and protect the cardiovascular system. But what I love most is how cocoa activates serotonin and endorphins, the feel-good hormones that bring calm, peace, and quiet joy. I once had a patient, Edward, 75, who had lost his wife and was living alone. He told me, "Doctor, I just don't feel interested in anything anymore." I suggested he replace his afternoon black coffee with a cup of coffee blended with pure cocoa and a touch of honey. 2 weeks later, he returned, his eyes brighter. "Doctor," he said, "this morning I went for a walk in the park. The sunlight came through the trees, and I thought, the world is still beautiful. That moment taught me something. Sometimes what we need isn't medicine, but a little happiness stirred into the bittersweet flavor of life." 3. Pumpkin seeds, the energy of renewal. If you've ever thought pumpkin seeds were just a snack, think again. They're actually one of the most powerful superfoods for midlife and beyond. Just 100 grams contain 30 to 35 grams of protein, along with zinc, magnesium, and antioxidants that help repair muscles, reduce inflammation, and strengthen immunity. Magnesium in particular helps regulate heart rhythm, calm the nervous system, and improve sleep quality. One of my older patients, Walter, 76 years old, had been struggling with joint pain and chronic insomnia. I told him to grind pumpkin seeds and add a spoonful to his morning coffee. 2 months later, he told me, his voice bright and full of life, "Doctor, I've been sleeping through the night. No more cramps, and my cholesterol dropped. I feel at least 10 years younger." I smiled, because that wasn't wishful thinking. That was the body responding with gratitude when it finally gets what it truly needs. These 3 ingredients, turmeric, cocoa, and pumpkin seeds may seem unrelated, but when you blend them with coffee, they become a natural symphony. Turmeric soothes inflammation and sharpens memory. Cocoa nourishes the heart and calms the mind. Pumpkin seeds energize the body, improve sleep, and support longevity. Together, they awaken the body, the heart, and the soul. Not magic, just nature's wisdom rediscovered. I know many people think, after 60, can I really change anything? But I want you to remember, every cell in your body is still listening. Give it the right signals, even small ones, and it will respond by making you feel clearer, stronger, and more alive. And sometimes that signal begins with nothing more than a morning cup of coffee. Aging isn't a sentence. It's a reminder that you've lived long enough to understand this truth. Health doesn't come from hospitals or pills, but from how you choose to care for your body every single day. So if you change just one small thing today, let it begin with your morning coffee. Because who knows, in that simple aroma, you might just rediscover your own path to renewal. You know, after more than 30 years of working with people over 50, I've come to realize something simple, yet deeply true. No one is truly old until they stop wanting to be healthy. The human body is extraordinary. Even at 70, even at 80, it still has the power to heal itself. If you give it just a little faith, a little patience, and the right nourishment. Each morning, when you hold your cup of coffee, I want you to pause for a few seconds. Take in that aroma. Feel the warmth in your hands and ask yourself, is this cup helping me live stronger or slowly wearing me down? One small question, but it can change your entire journey toward health. I've seen people who could barely walk because of joint pain, people who were disheartened because their memory had started to fade, and yet after just a few months of small morning changes, they became sharper, lighter, and more radiant than ever before. Not because they found some miracle cure, but because they returned to what's simple: a spoonful of turmeric, a touch of cocoa, a few pumpkin seeds, maybe a bit of collagen. Tiny things repeated each day become a ritual, a way of saying to your body, I still care about you. I often tell my patients this: health isn't a destination, it's a relationship you build with yourself every single day. If you care for your body with gratitude, it will thank you, with lighter breaths, deeper sleep, and mornings filled with renewed energy. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, make your coffee as usual, but this time, turn it into a ritual of self-care. Add a touch of golden turmeric, a spoon of cocoa, a few drops of MCT oil, or whatever your body is quietly asking for. Then take a deep breath, smile, and whisper to yourself, today I choose to be healthy. Cannot stop you from growing stronger. Every passing day is not a step backward. It's another chance to understand your body a little better and to love it a little more. And if you're hearing my words right now, believe me, you still have time to begin again, with one cup of coffee, with yourself. If this message touched you, hit like, so I know you're still walking this path toward vitality with me. Share it with someone you love, a parent, a friend, someone who needs a spark of hope to live healthier every day. And don't forget to subscribe to Senior Vital Health, because every week I'll share more real stories about people who chose to live fully after 60 and about how you can do the same. Remember, coffee doesn't just awaken your morning, it can awaken your entire life. Coffee yellow,